So, ladies and gentlemen, we have our next speaker who's been a trainer, who's a consultant, and at the same time, an entrepreneur. He's the founder of Knowledge Academy Chennai, a perfect combination and a perfect visionary, I would say, who's going to talk on the topic of schools for 21st century. I'm excited about it. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you the founder of Knowledge Academy Chennai, Mohammed Azhar Sahab.
Uh, Jazakallah khair for introducing Brother Asif, and really thank 8A and Diet and Nadeem and all the audience one and here for being here. Jazakallah khair for joining. And let's get into the topic. My topic has been like 21st century school. So this is my two ventures right now, which I'm into it. Okay. All right. So let me get into the topic. Why school? Okay. Anybody, we are running school, right? If you look at it, why we have school? Why do we run school? According this definition is what I'm saying is from the dictionary. A school is an institution designed to provide learning spaces and learning environment for the teaching of the students or pupils under the direction of teachers. This is a definition by Oxford Dictionary. Now, in other words, school is a platform for child to learn experience, right? So it's not just academics. It is not just sports. It's not just activities. It's not extracurricular activity. It's a wholesome experience what the child goes through for 12 years to 15 years of his life, right? So given this definition, let's get into the other aspect of our education. Okay. So are you able to see this? Can somebody put in the chat?
Yeah, we're able to see. Check.
Yeah. Can you just, what is this? Somebody just type in the chat. What is this?
Operation,
Yes.
Operation Theatre.
Okay, got that. Thank you. Right, got that. What is this?
Operation Theatre again.
Right, got that. Thank you. Now, what is this?
It's a
Any?
classroom operations.
No. It is the industry. Yeah, it's an industry. I got that. Imran Fazil has told. It's an industry of 19th centuries where they work for the industries. Okay, it's a tailoring fashion industry. Right. What is this all about?
Collaboration meetings.
Okay, today's world, business meet, conference meet. Okay, got that. What is this all about?
It's a classroom.
Classroom, right? Got that. What is this all about?
Examination hall.
Examination hall. Can we take it as a classroom?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that. Okay. Now, I showed some few pictures, right? So somebody can share me in the chat or can share me like what is the difference between the pictures, what I saw, what I displayed you. I showed you from the operation theater to industry to classroom, right?
Yeah.
Conditions like an industry. Okay, education. Okay, got that. Any more answers? Can anybody? Okay, all show learning. Got that. Okay. Both are producing and preparing. Got that, Dr. Manullah. Thank you for that. Anybody else? Evolution. Okay, got that. Jahangir Saab. Thank you for that. Difference between school and workplace. Got that. Azim.
Various
Azim.
environments were shown.
Right, got that. So I want to point out something. Not much advancement in classroom setting. Yes, got that. Now, if you look at it, the industry, what has changed, if I'm just putting the previous slide so that it is very clear for everyone, from the medical industry to the other industry, the transformation which has happened right? When it comes to classroom, it's the same, right? Today, a robotic surgery can be done from by a doctor sitting in US, and which is happening, metallic surgery or knee replacement surgery, right? But what happened to classroom, right? And let me get into this, right? Knowledge revolution, got that. Now somebody can, who will tell me, brother Asif, do you have any prizes for the audience?
Uh, Appreciation, a warm hug.
Okay, got that, thank you. Right, so who will tell me the curriculum which we are following right now in our schools, right? In our school, which, who devised that curriculum and which year it belongs to? Who devised that curriculum? The curriculum in the sense, the structure of the education, and who devised that? Industrial age, okay. It was devised by British, okay, got that. Right, Macaulay, got that, thank you. It was devised by Lord Macaulay and it was divided in 1950s, right? And that was defined for the purpose which is there, which I'm showing up in the slide, where a child, a person has to be employed in the industry during industrial revolution, industrial 3.0, industrial revolution 2.0, where they have to become nuts and bolts to the industries, or they have to become employees. So they come to the in the education system, they are tuned to that, and they are output in the same mechanical way. The output is they become employers, and this curriculum is not designed for to become a person who wants to become. The purpose of education, the purpose of the school, it's all about making them nuts and bolts, right? Now, knowing that and following the same thing will not make any difference. There is a quote which says, a stupid is one knowing that will not make difference, but he does the same, right? Now, let me get to the next slide. This system was devised by Lord Macaulay in 1830s, right? Okay. Now, if you look at this, the demands of industrial revolution started from industry 1.0 to in 1.2, 2.0, 3.0, and now we are in industry, or not industrial revolution, rather we say it's a data revolution. Okay, when I say data revolution, it's like the data makes the whole world today. And today the sample is that we are connected from across the India, and we have around 100 participants here in this Zoom. That's the revolution which we are right now. Right now, it's what I'm saying. And imagine we are teaching a system which was designed in 1830s. We are in 21st century, and we are teaching the structure with the structure which was devised for a specific purpose, and with the curriculum which was devised in 1830s. That is 17th century curriculum is what we are doing it right now, right? So hope you got the point where we are right now, right? One of the fundamental flaw what we are doing, or what we are doing injustice to our people, our students, or the next generation in terms of education, is this, where we judge the child not by its skills. It says very clearly, everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live the whole life believing that it is stupid. right? So what are we preparing for? The child who enters the classroom from LKG, the child is going to go out of the school, this system, after 15 years. And just previous, if you just look at back and just see that within 2 years of this pandemic, what has changed the whole world is completely different. Otherwise, today this conference will be in Bangalore in physical presence. But today, all over from India, across the world, we are attending now, right? So that's the change happening, the rapid speed in which change is happening in the world, and we are still holding on to 1830s. Okay, so what are we preparing for is a question we as management we need to ask ourselves. I also run a school, and this is something which we as a Muslim community need to get it very clearly. Now, I heard the lecture from Abdul Latif, Sheikh Abdul Latif Madani, and I was there with Sheikh Khalil Rahman Madani. They have already prepared the ground for me. In the stats, it says that we are 30 years, that is 3 generations gap between this community and other communities. If you take any Brahmin, he rightly asked the question, do we have a principal or an educationalist of 15 years of experience in education? Yes, we do have, but how many? I can count and tell you it will not go beyond 25 or 30 in a particular area. And if you look at the gap between the other communities, we are lagging behind 30 years gap. 30 years, we need to speed up ourselves to at least to reach to that level, right? So that is one. Number 2, now what already we have started the journey of preparing the children for the future. In that journey, what we are doing is again is going to get a gap, because we are teaching the curriculum of 1830, not the 21st century. Hope you are getting my point, right? Now, which world we are preparing for? We are preparing for a VUCA world, which is volatile, unambiguous, complex, and uncertain world, which we don't know what is going to happen. We don't even know. We never thought schools will run online for 2 years. We didn't prepare our teachers, nor the students are prepared. We don't know what is going to come. Are we going to eliminate this system? Now in India, from where I'm coming from, Chennai, we have universities offering online universities. Though Harvard, Stanford, California, Michigan, all the universities have started online universities. Today, a child can study in home and getting online degree certificate from Harvard, Kingston University from London, King's Law College of London. In Chennai, you have being that in Chennai we have Bharatiya University, Madras Christian College, Uttarakhand University. All the universities are coming up with online degrees. Bharatiya University has started from BA, BSc. All these universities have started online. We don't know what is going to come. So what is the skills required? What are we preparing for? As school management, we need to really think on it. Okay, all right. So now, this is what we call as 21st century skill. What is this 21st century skill is all about? Right now we are in 21st century, and this 21st century skill is these World Economic Forum of the world as well as the UNESCO has devised some 16 skills to make a child lifelong learners. Okay. When I say lifelong learner, now what is required? The teacher to shift from physical to online is they have to unlearn everything and relearn what they have to. That is the skill of learning. That is called lifelong learning, where they become lifelong learners wherever, whenever. We don't know what is going to come. So it is not set of competencies you need to develop. Like we have, okay, we completed this 10th, 12th, okay, then we wind up our education by post graduation or PhD. That's not the intention. 21st century talks about 16 skills, which, if you look at it, it talks about ICT, it talks about financial literacy, it talks about the creativity, it talks about communication, it talks about team building, financial literacy, resilience, grit, cultural awareness, leadership qualities, numeracy, literacy. All these skills, 16 skills, which has been devised by UNESCO as well as World Economic Forum, which they says any child who wants to be a 21st century learner, these are the skills is required for them, for the future, for their future, to shine up, right? So fundamental literacies, competencies, and character qualities. So if they have these qualities, now imagine the children are in online, they are not able to meet their friends. Now what is required? There is required resilience. They require perseverance. They require a grit. For them, all these characters. Otherwise, they will get into depression, right? Now, how as we schools are going to do that? How are we going to do that? That's the question now. What practices we are going to bring it in our schools to make a child a 21st century learner? Or else we are going to create a nuts and bolts and we are going to cry telling that there is no employment. No. If you look at the data statistics, why an engineer is spending around 5 to 6 lakhs of rupees on his education, and he is getting employed only for 20,000 rupees or 15,000 rupees. And even then, that is also survival. Just to survive his life, he is doing it. The question need to be asked by us as a community, right? So the first thing which I have done in my school, and I recommend everyone to take it on if it is work for you, okay, is that you develop the assessment system. And now new education policy has come up, which says that now what happened to 12th standard in a lot of states in India, without examination you have been given marks. Now that is the future, and that is what we do in our school, where we don't rely only on one mark, one examination. Rather, we develop a portfolio, and a child's progress is being measured at every level. And when a child enters the school till he exits the school, we have a record of how he is performed, how he is performed, how he is not performing. All these things has been done, monitored, and parents and students and teachers sit and collaborate and develop the child's learning, right? So this is fundamental, where we shift our focus on learning rather than marks. So when the child is not learning, we give remediation, not to fail him, not to pass him, right? So next part is what we talk about is robotics, where we include coding, artificial intelligence, design thinking, as well as 3D printing. A child of grade 1 is able to handle all these things in our school, where we have a child develops a product idea, and that is converted into product, and that product has been patented and it has been given in the market. So this develops the 21st century skills, which we are talking about 16th century. The 16 skills which UNESCO is talking about, which World Economic Forum is talking about. In this, we have app development, you have coding, you have artificial intelligence, everything, right? This is one of the practices which I'm talking about. The next part is the STEAM learning, what we call as science, technology, engineering, and math. From creative thinking to design thinking, from literacy to digital literacy, from coding to scripting, from tinkering to creating, from hard skills to soft skills, all under one roof. We talk about science, technology, engineering, art, and maths. Here, what happens in this is where a child is been, whatever child learns in science, she is puts in the practice. She develops a project. He develops a challenge. She develops, he or she develops a herself a problem, herself find a solution for herself. So which will develop the learning skills, the design thinking skills, and this is done in a groups. So team collaboration, all the skills which we incorporate in this. The last part which we are talking about, which I'm talking about, is the career guidance. Is very critical for our children, for especially our community, where the child don't decide his career based on marks, rather on his passion, what he wants to do. So what we do is we do psychometric analysis, we do daymetric test, and we create a roadmap for him from grade 8 to grade 8, and he perceives his passion, right? So these are few practices which will help schools to bring it on and develop these skills. Apart from this, certain things which I wanted to bring it out here is one of the skills which we need to focus on is as a community is entrepreneurship skill, which we also do that. Entrepreneurship skill from grade 6 at least, start developing an idea. Entrepreneurship is not about business. Business is completely different from entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship is create a solution for the problem which in the society exists. For that, the curriculum which we are following 1830 will never support our children. It will never support our children. Okay, so what will happen is we need to bring that entrepreneurship that will create leaders in our community. Okay, and one more thing which I wanted to highlight as a school before I conclude is that our community are 33% in the poverty line, below poverty, and to create a robust curriculum, robust school like this requires a financial obligation. As parents, as management, as community people, we need to see what is possible from our side, not keeping finance as a barrier to implement these 21st century skills, or else whatever we are doing right now with the Lord Macaulay curriculum will not going to help our community, rather the India, rather any citizen of this country. That is going to change, and national education policy is on its way to change all those stuff. Before we get into handicap, when national education policy is being implemented, let's get prepared ourselves and start working on these skills, right? So that's all from my side. Thank you for listening. Jazakallah khair. May Allah reward you all, everyone. Any questions? I'll be happy to take it.
MashaAllah, Azhar Sahab, what a wonderful presentation it was. It was brilliant. Let's wait for some people who could come across with some questions. If none, then we'll proceed for the lunch break as scheduled. But otherwise, Azhar Sahab, like everyone out here, almost everyone is aware of the fact that people from the school are being prepared for the corporate world ready and industry ready. The creativity is filtered. That one picture, in fact, explained everything. What is the way we can eradicate? See, while we are wanting to eradicate, there are a lot of problems, financial problems. Like you're running an institute, you'll have to make sure you run your institute, you manage your people, you take care of parents. There are a lot of aspects. Where would you get time to come out of it and think how you could bring in the change? What is the way? What is the solution for this? How could all the educators, how could all the entrepreneurs come up with this lateral thought of producing the right set of people? Where could the creativity come from? There are a lot of aspects, right?
Yes. So the fundamental what I'm focusing on right now, the education policy is not very clear about it. Is the fundamental aspect is that you change the education for the pattern of assessment.
Hmm.
That if you change that system, now then things will work automatically. It will start working on reverse.
Absolutely. Okay. All right.
So
Um,
that's the way to start with. I'm telling you, the moment you start doing that, then you will have time to focus on other things. Since we are focused only on marks, the moment the child grade enters the grade 8 or grade 9, he's been bombarded with to focus on marks, get 90%.
So you
Okay.
have the question on the screen. What is your recommendation to integrate skills learning into? Let me get to that question.
Yeah. Right. I got that. What is your recommendation to integrate skills learning into school method of classroom learning? Right. So so I don't differentiate between classroom learning and skill learning. No, that goes hand by hand. You don't need to have a separate time for skill learning. So for example, let me give an example. Okay. Now, if you want to teach 2 plus 2 equal to 4, generally what we do, a teacher will come and write in the board, okay, 2 plus 2, this is how it comes, is equal to 4. That's what a normal teacher does. But rather giving that answer, don't give the answer, ask them to figure it out. How 4? And enable that process of learning, that experience of learning to them. Ask the child to do. They will come up with the different ideas. We don't have ideas. They will take an apple. I'll say, okay, no, this is how 2 plus 2 equal to 4. Two apples plus 2 equal to 4 apples. This will be one example I'm giving, just for example. Now, that curriculum which we are talking about, where student owns the learning, rather teachers omit the learning, or teachers vomits what he knows. It's not about knowledge part of it. 21st century skill is not about knowledge. It's all about to develop their learning experiences. So that will develop their classroom learning into a meaningful experiences for their life.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mohammed Saab. It was a pleasure to have you here, and what a wonderful presentation. It in fact broadened the thought process of many out here. It was a pleasure to have you here. And any more questions? If any, we'll have it shared across. Probably this will be the last question from Ila.
Yes.
How to bring awareness among parents?
Yes, that is the challenge. That's the challenge. Now, yes, that's the challenge. Now, see, one is first is we need to create awareness for 21st century learning. Then we need to create our awareness for our iman and for their tarbiyah. These three things we need to have a strong, robust plan for that, for at least for 10 years plan, and implement bit by bit by creating teams and leaders among ourselves, among the community, right? And enroll the parents what you are standing for. What is why you are doing this? It has to be communicated. The vision has to be communicated. Islamic school is not just okay, just giving one Aqidah class or Islamic classes. No, that's not Islamic school. We need to think way beyond that, right?
Perfect. Looks like we have a lot more questions. You'll have to share the answer personally to them, or maybe AJ will have the question answered, or Ames will reach out to the person who's asked the question. Since we're running short of time, we already about 20-30 minutes delayed with our time schedule, Mohammed Saab. So we hope you're okay. We taking the questions offline.
Yeah. Not an issue. So you can reach out to me at my school website or BRICS consultant website, inshallah. And alhamdulillah, with this, we have been among the top 10 schools in Chennai, which we are awarded last year. And just for information, and we have been the top 10 international schools in Chennai right now.
Subhanallah. May Allah bless you, and you be the number one, inshallah. We look forward.
Sure.
We also get to learn from your skill. Thank you so much, Mohammed Azhar Saab. Thank you. Pleasure to have you here. Who is the trainer, consultant, founder of Knowledge Academy, Chennai.